Hi, I'm Holly from rockingthecloth.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about something that I have a lot of experience with, and that is using cloth diapers at daycare. Now, a lot of people that are interested in cloth diapers think that they're automatically not really able to use them because they work full time or part time, and they just assume that their daycare isn't going to allow cloth. But actually, in my experience, every daycare I've ever interviewed has allowed it. And talking to other cloth diapering families, I've also seen that most families I've talked to have had success finding a daycare that allows it. And just from what I've read online, it seems like most daycares really are open to this. So don't assume that just because you work outside the home and will need a daycare that you can't use cloth diapers. Okay, so here are some tips for kind of figuring out how to approach the subject of cloth diapers with your daycare, and also some tips to keep in mind for using cloth diapers at daycare. My first one is to check your state laws regarding cloth diapers and in daycares, because almost every single state in the United States allows daycares to accept cloth diapers. So legally speaking, you're probably okay, but it would just be a good idea to just double check the laws to make sure your state isn't the exception to that. I think there are a couple states, maybe two in the United States, that do require doctor's notes. So you're just going to want to look into that. But just because it's allowed in your state legally doesn't mean a daycare has to allow them. It just means they can allow them if they want to. So just know that their daycare policies, just because it's legal, they're allowed to have the policies that they have. So then that brings me to the next thing. When you're touring a daycare, which you should always do every time you're interested in a daycare, ask them if they've ever used cloth before. And I would wait to ask this question until you're on the tour, because I feel like you're way more likely to get an open-minded answer when you are face-to-face asking this question. Another perk of waiting until you're on the tour is because you can actually bring a diaper with you to show them that it's not what they might be picturing. Each daycare has different experiences with cloth diapers. Some have never used them ever. Others have had several kids come through that use cloth. So it's good to just pack a diaper in your purse, because you don't know where they're at with that. The very first daycare that we interviewed and we did use for 2 years, she had never used cloth before. And I think when I first asked the question, she was thinking like flats and plastic pants. And when I was able to show her what a pocket looked like, because that's what we use at daycares because they're very daycare friendly, how it's all one piece. I mean, you do stuff inserts, but I do that at home. It's not something they would have to do. You show them that you just put it on the baby like it is, like a disposable will go on. You just snap it shut and then you're good to go. And when I showed that to her, she was then like, oh, yeah, that looks like something we could do. We can give it a try anyway. Then the second daycare we used, I didn't even need to pull it out because they had used cloth before, and I had gone to say like, I'll send a wet bag, and they're like, no, you don't need to send a wet bag. This is how we store cloth in our center. And I was actually kind of surprised. They actually had procedures in place. That means they had done this before. So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, so then, yeah, that brings me kind of the next point. I brought this up about how you can say you'd send a wet bag every day. You can offer that to the daycares. Just say like, I'll provide a waterproof bag so that you have a place to store them. You don't need to do anything with the poop. You just put it in the bag. I'll take them home every night and deal with any mess that there is. Um, some daycares don't allow wet bags. Just like I said, my second one didn't. They had to do plastic bags that got tied, and so that was that. But anyway, so then that kind of brings me to the next point. You want to make sure that when you are asking them about cloth diapers and you have your cloth diaper with you, whether you're on the tour or whatever it might be, that you don't go into this whole lecture about how to best use cloth diapers and how to care for cloth diapers and what creams you can use and what creams you can't, because you want them to know that this is actually not that hard of a thing. And if they've never used cloth before, you don't want to overwhelm them with a lot of information that they really don't need to know. They need to know how to put it on. That's about it. So don't go into any cloth diaper lectures when you're on the tour. Just let them know that it really is pretty simple, because they're job in all this is going to be pretty simple. But when the time does come that you are actually, baby is here and you're sending them to daycare for their first time, do send a cloth diaper safe cream so that if they have any redness or anything they want to deal with, that they have a cream there that they can use that will be safe with your cloth diapers. Okay? And then the last thing I want to say is just be flexible with your daycare. And what I mean by that is they're kind of doing you a favor by allowing you to bring cloth, especially if it's a daycare that has never used cloth before. I don't know if doing you a favor is really the right term, but I think you know what I mean. If they were probably being pretty open-minded about it and flexible with you by saying, yes, you don't need to send disposables. That if they, for whatever reason, feel like they want to use a disposable diaper just at nap time, or if they want to have a pack of disposables on hand in case something happened, I think it would be just really kind of you and flexible to allow them what they need to do to make it work. Okay, so that you have a good partnership and a good relationship with the daycare over this. Um, it's very possible you're going to be the only family in your daycare that uses cloth diapers and might have been the only family for several years. So you want it to make sure it's a good experience for them so you don't ruin cloth diapers for the next family to come by. And we don't want to make anyone think that cloth diapers are hard to use or anything like that because they're not. So you just want to make sure you're flexible with them and just let time show them that any worry they might have about if they need one at nap time or anything like that, time will show them that they, how they need to do it. So just be flexible with them and allow them that grace. Okay, so I hope this helped answer any questions you had about getting cloth or getting your daycare on board with cloth diapers. Go ahead and visit rockingthecloth.com if you have any more questions about cloth diapers or using them at daycare. Thanks. Bye.